All right, I have one specific question before we start. Why is it that in all these tribes from the first and second movie, we never see elders, elder members, old men or old women? And can the blue people actually get facial hair? I asked James in a tweet, can they grow facial hair? Is that possible? I would have liked to have seen Stephen Lang's character with facial hair, but obviously not. This is a family movie, and it's a family movie in every sense. So, how does this start out? We get a little bit of recap. We do see the last few seconds of the end of the first movie where you had Giovanni Ribisi, you had other people, all the traitors, all the bad people. You know, that one black dude that tells Jake Sully, come on, we're not waiting for you. 4 minutes, nobody be dying on me in 4 minutes, right? All the bad guys, all the characters went back home. So you're not seeing Giovanni Ribisi in this movie other than a cameo. Uh, I think what's his name, David Joel Moore or Joel David Moore, who was very instrumental and very important in the first movie, has a cameo in this one as far as the character of Kiri or Sigourney Weaver's reincarnated character, I guess. I'm supposing that because we see a flashback dream, and it's right now what you're looking at are the Zora people. No, these are the tribe, the Water Tribe people, and they're like I would say they're a turquoise in contrast to the blue, sort of slight navy blue that the Omaticaya people are. So what's happening is, and I asked Stephen Lang in a tweet. I hope my 3 hours are not wasted, and they weren't. I would say it's a 9 out of 10. There were cliches. Edie Falco's role was kind of severely underused. We'll get into that in a bit. And so these are the people doing their thing, and this is the big whale here that the youngest son of Jake Sully gets to know, because this is all about poaching whales and abusing hunt abuse, abusing animals and preserving the oceans. Not so much about like oil spills or British petroleum. It's more about saving the fish life. But we're always going to have fish. We're always going to have fishermen. It's just the way it is. But that kind of message is also done in Star Trek for The Voyage Home. But I'm all over the place. So I asked Stephen Lang, will the Colonel be peach or blue? And he is blue. So the Colonel comes back blue, no beard, just the haircut. So he doesn't look like he did in Terra Nova. So he's back for revenge. That big bald dude gets some. That guy's back. There's some other characters. I'm not sure if they were in the movie, but there are other characters. One popping gum. There's different people. It said Michelle Rodriguez was listed in there, but she's not in the. She's dead. She's not in the movie. So different things are happening. Jake Sully. This is a family movie, and Jake Sully and Neytiri take more of a backseat role. However backseat their role is, they're very important in what they're doing. So this is Kira. I'm suspecting either she's searching for her father in trying to connect with Awa, like the tree. There's this giant seaweed in the bottom of the ocean that's much like the tree of souls. This is the seaweed of souls, and so Kira connects to it. She sees Dr. Augustine, and in trying to find out who her father was, maybe Darth Plagueis, Dr. Augustine's about to tell her, but then it all explodes around her. So either she is reincarnated, as I said before in the Wikipedia video, either she's reincarnated or her father might be Jake Sully's twin brother. Who knows? It could be anything. I don't think anybody would want to be Quaritch. That's not going to happen. And you see these. Now, I didn't see this in 3D. I saw it in 2D. So these are these beautiful shots. There's babies, no facial hair, guys, and no. These are these giant creatures based on prehistoric creatures combined with the flying dragons you see in the first movie. And so Quaritch is back to life in a blue avatar somehow. It's a clone. It's a clone, basically. It's not a zombie. It's not a zombie colonel. It's a clone colonel. And he makes this video, which kind of feels a little forced, but okay. You kind of go with it. I thought it was more amusing than realistic, but I thought okay, yeah. So the Colonel, after realizing that Jake Sully's a traitor, if you watch the DVD version, there's like two parts to it. It's the first part ends on the first disc where he says, "Well, you better get it done. You better get it done, Corporal," and that's the first disc. And the second disc starts with the bulldozing of the tree. So in between those two discs, I would suspect that's when the Colonel made the video about making a clone, whatever that means. So you do see Dr. Augustine in what's the word? Archives, and everybody's in archives. We're looking at different things here. The oldest son dies fighting Quaritch and his team. Edie Falco has established a city. Now, keep in mind, Avatar 2 and 3 are being made at the same time. So there's a gateway city. It's very much, if I may say, I mean, try to think of, I might as well show you because why the fuck not? I'm seeing similarities here. It's very similar to Xenoblade Chronicles X. And in Xenoblade Chronicles X, you have a main city, a hub world. You got these giant mechs. There's giant mechs in the Avatar movie. But anyway, that's what you're seeing there. And you're seeing the city. So the city, what is it? Edie Falco's, she's a general. And she's saying, okay, we can build this city in a matter of days. It takes 6 to 9 days to build one building. So they're establishing a whole place, a whole thing. And there's more of Kira. And Kira's character, I mean, it's kind of difficult to try to sound like a young girl, to sound like Ripley from the 1970s. But, you know, Sigourney does her best. She gives her more of an accent to kind of sound different. But yeah, Sigourney's in the tracksuit. Everybody's wearing tracksuits. I'm sure they kept their original ones for fun. But she can move the fish, the schools of fish. She can move all these different creatures. She helps guide. She uses like fireflies, but sea flies to get her family out. The whole thing deals with. Because I remember this one where part of the battle, the first battle, where Neytiri shoots an arrow at one of the helicopters and it lands on a reef and not in the ocean, so not to pollute the ocean. So trying to not have them commit polluting the oceans, flying on these things. It's a story about family members. So you got two sons, one older brother, one younger brother. You got a sister. And you got the adopted sister, the adopted daughter, which is the Kira, which is Sigourney Weaver. And then you got a character called a human who looks a lot like Kazar. If you remember Kazar, basically, yeah, that's Kazar. That's a Marvel character. I guess it's all Disney anyway. But yeah, this would be, he has dreadlocks though, so he has to wear a mask because he can't breathe the air on the planet. But this is Miles' son. Miles Quaritch's son. I don't know who the mother is. Who could the mom be? I guess it doesn't matter, right? So Miles Quaritch always had a son, I guess also named Miles, and he is part of the he ends up being part of the group. He ends up being adopted to the family. A son for a son. But that's like about the end of the movie. But he kind of looks like that. He has got the dreadlocks. He's taken prisoner into the RDF. What is it called? I think it's the RDA. So he's taken into the RDA as a prisoner. He's got to betray his family, the Water Tribe. Now, because Jake Sully knows he's the target of a reincarnated or a cloned Quaritch, in Blue Quaritch, he, as a recombinant, all these people are brought back to life to go and wage war. So it's revenge. It's hard to say, as far as the overall plot, what it really means. You would think, okay, they're told to go back. But here's the thing. James Cameron doesn't get too much into the lore in which do the people on Earth... Now, they said the backstory here is that the people on Earth are dying, okay? The people on Earth are dying, so that's why General Edie Falco is setting up. She's in this sort of robot boxing armor thing, and Quaritch shakes the robot glove, but not Edie Falco's hand. He just touches the glove. It's weird. There's little details I remembered. But as they're in this newfound city, uh, she says the Earth is dying, but how much does the Earth know about what happened on Pandora? How much do they know about what's happening on that planet? Do they know about the atrocities, the against blue manatee, blue manatee, the crimes against blue manatee? Do they know anything that's going on? What were they told? What were the lies they were told? So this is the whole family here. So they were told certain things, and unfortunately, they may not have the whole truth. They may say that either the blue people are complete and reckless savages. They could be saying, "Oh, everything's fine." They could have deep fake videos of there nobody being there on the planet. It's completely barren, and we're going to just occupy it. First, they were trying to get metal, right? The metal that Giovanni Ribisi shows Sigourney Weaver as to why they're there. This is the bond between the whale who was nearly poached and the youngest son. The youngest son. This is a great bonding thing. It's a very kind of cheeky moment about saving the whales and all that. But Star Trek 4 beat you to it there, James Cameron. Anyway, there's the logo. Is there any more I can show you? Yes, this is him. This is a Spider. This is the one that is. So here's this guy. This guy here. He survives. He's not dead at the end of the movie. We just don't see him anymore. And so what Miles Quaritch was trying to do is hold his son No, Neytiri was supposed to hold him captive. Okay, and that's Kira there again. So Quaritch has the youngest son, and then the other one and then Neytiri has Spider, as he calls himself, Spider. That's his tribal name. I wasn't sure if Neytiri was really going to kill Spider, because those two didn't have a real conversation. As it is, this guy and Sigourney, these two finally have a scene together. The grunt here, the lieutenant, and Sigourney Weaver, they finally have a scene together. But Zoe Saldana and this guy, they didn't have a scene together. So it was hard to know if she was going to really kill him or not. She just didn't accept him, saying, well, he doesn't belong here. There's a little bit of racism from the blue people. It's like, he does not belong here. He belongs with his own kind. He belongs with the humans in the RDA. So why is he still here? There's a great train robbery scene in which they destroy a whole train. A lot of great stuff. I didn't know there was a train, but that train that the Omaticaya rob, that gets destroyed. That was going to go to the first major city. So a lot has changed in 13 years, or the time it took between Jake Sully impregnating Neytiri and then this movie. And so because Jake Sully knew that he was a liability to bring back Quaritch back to the people, he gives up being the chief leader. And he, what is it? Taruk Makto. So Taruk Makto is now a new character, now a new person. And the mom, Neytiri's mom, stays behind. But I wonder if James Cameron filmed any scenes where Quaritch invades the Omaticaya clan to find out where Jake Sully is. Because we don't see those people again. We go off to a new place. We go off to the ocean world because that's where the movie focuses. These are just little things that I think about when I'm thinking about this movie. There's an older Jake. No gray hairs. They don't get gray hairs, I think. These are the people here. I think that's Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet there. They're all turquoise. They have fins. There's a little bit of hazing ritual with the other boys picking on the youngest son. They get into a fist fight. Whatever. What do boys do? Young, teenagers. They get into fist fights. Here are the credits. So there's Stephen Lang, Sigourney Weaver, Trudy. I don't think, yeah, Trudy's not in there. There's no way. Parker, Selfridge, Nitidi. I'm just looking at all. I don't know what this is, but uh, I don't think she's in there. And this is the people. So these are the people that they have to go to find. So after Jake Sully gives up being Toruk Mokto and leaves the Omatakaya clan, leaves the forest, leaves the jungles to go to the ocean, they have to find asylum, and then they're going to move on. Meanwhile, the colonel, who couldn't take his son with them because his son rescued him, because the colonel could have died at the end of this movie by drowning. Jake Sully made sure to kill him this time, because in the first movie it was Nate Diddy, then this one was Jake Sully, but the son rescued him. So Spider rescued him and then left him out to dry, left him out to hang. It's like, I don't give a shit about you. Yeah, they go to them for assistance. I think the Kate Winslet character is pregnant. So there was that scene I remember with Kira try to meet Dr. Augustine. I would say the final battle it's above the ocean. It's not underneath so much. But they do go underneath a couple of times. There's some scary jump scare moments. The RDA was at their best when they were trying to go after them one at a time, sneaking around. But as a full frontal scale battle with a giant tanker, like an aircraft carrier type ship, because again, the RDA has to work with these private. Now, as I was saying before, Giovanni Ribisi explained to Dr. Augustine that they had to get metal to make more machines. So they had to mine for metal and destroy trees. This one's about killing these giant prehistoric looking whales on this planet, and then taking that and then taking the membrane, all the mucus from these things, and using that to stop the aging process of humans, but throwing away the rest. And that was just disgusting to them. It's like, you're not even going to kill them to eat them. You're just going to kill them and take what little they have and then just leave the rest. It does get a little bit preachy. Japanese Americans may not like this movie. I do eat sushi, but like I say, it's there are disgusting people in the world. As far as the message goes, there's that one dentist who killed a tiger and laughed about it. There's that one fucker who used a forklift into a cow. We all remember that. We couldn't unsee that. But, like Joe Rogan's perspective of hunting, and I respect it. We're all hunters. The animals are hunters. We're hunters. But it's just how we do these things. It gets a little bit preachy. So because of the cliches and because of the predictable beats a bit, and Edie Falco having not much. Edie Falco tortures Spider, the Colonel's son, to get information with a spinning green light, and then that's when the Colonel has a real conversation with him, which was a better scene, right? But after that torture scene, Edie Falco had fuck all to do. She's in her city, and we focus more on the two whalers. There are two guys that are whalers, and there's a scientist that talks to the son, talks to Spider. Who knows where he's at? But I don't think he cares about fighting the. I don't think he cares too much about fighting the Omatakaya clan or the Zora people. He just does whatever he's got to do. He doesn't care. He wants to make the money, but he won't fight politics. He'll give up easily. The scientists will. And the whalers, the poachers, are trying to make all this money. In the end, one loses his arm, so he may come back for another movie. If you don't see them dead, they're coming back for another movie. That's just how it is. As far as the future goes, so I could only give it a 9 out of 10. I feel despite all the flaws and predictable beats, it's not that bad of a movie. It really isn't. The way it's going now, there's going to be part 3. But if you kind of thought about it, right? If you had to think about the way this is going, with 3 coming about and 4 and 5, who knows if they're up in the air, it kind of reminds me of Zelda. if somebody like if you look at the Zora people, right? If you look at the first movie, it's about the forest people. It could be like Hestu, right? And Zelda and Link are the forest people. And the second movie is about the Zora people, the ocean, the way of water. Then you could have the serenity of snow, right? Right, the serenity of snow or the serenity of wind, or the serenity of the sky with the bird people. And then you could have the desert, the canyons, the prairies, you know. It could be the renaissance of rock. And then the fury of fire with the fire people, right? It's kind of like they're taking Zelda and just these are the rest of the movies. That's it. That's how this is going to go. Isn't that something? That's something to me. Avatar, Fury of Fire, Serenity of Snow, The Way of Water.